So, I don't usually do this, but today I felt inspired to jump on YouTube and address some of the misinformation that's been circulating around social media. No, no, not the disinformation that you're used to hearing about on CNN and NBC. No, I want to address the misinformation with regards to the Democratic Party and all that it entails. So sit back, relax, and join the community legend. Let's watch.
Were with me live on set to break down the impact of what's happening for Democrats.
The alarm bells have been ringing for many years now, and it is disappointing that it's taken this long for it to happen. So I think this focus, this concentrated effort, if done right over the next 3 weeks, could yield high dividends, but it has to be rooted in something authentic and genuine, and that is what we're looking for as black men.
It's too late for Vice President Harris. I mean, I was just getting my haircut the other day. My barber, that's my litmus test, the black barbershops. I'm telling you, she's in trouble, and I think it's going to be a very interesting turnout for her come Election Day.
That first gentleman, of course, was my Democrat guest. You wouldn't be able to tell it from those comments because that's an issue where you can certainly unite black men. The vice president is trying to claw back the crucial group with an economic push she dubbed the Opportunity Agenda for Black Men. The plan aims to boost financial and career prospects with forgivable loans to black entrepreneurs. Sage Steele says this.
People know that it's racist to say, I'm going to give you this for free because the color of your skin. Like, I think so often the Democrats believe that black men and women, especially younger, are too stupid or lazy to do their homework.
Well, she's right. Look at this. Legal experts are saying that the plan simply won't hold up. The former Federal Trade Commission's general counsel says if you're giving credit to black entrepreneurs based on their race, that is unconstitutional, plain and simple, and against the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Janiyah Thomas is here, Trump 2024 Black Media Affairs Director. Janiyah, great to see you.
Yes,
first of all, your opening thoughts on the conversation around this.
I mean, I think overall, they're seeing that they're losing with black men, specifically. Mm-hmm. And I think this plan that she's implemented or wants to implement is not realistic, and I think it's just a trope just to catch people's attention, but it's nothing that's super tangible for black people. Nobody wants a handout from her. You can't just give people things based off of their race. And, I think no one's buying it. I think this is their last attempt to gain back black voters.
When you and I first met, it was outside the RNC convention. We were both walking in Milwaukee going into one of the venues. And, I think it's interesting, particularly in a city like that, and where we were, there were a high number of black men in the population in that area. Mm-hmm. When you talk with black men, they can tell you definitively what they're looking for. So what have voters told you?
I mean, black men are looking to be able to provide for their families. They want jobs, they want to be able to build generational wealth. They want to be able to start businesses, And these are things that President Trump is a stronger candidate on. He created a strong economy where these things were possible for, not only black people, but everybody. And I think that, we've seen 4 years of the Trump economy. We've seen 3.5 years of whatever this is. And it's very clear to people, Trump is the candidate that's going to be able to deliver the things that they want.
So I noticed you didn't mention weed or marijuana on that list of things that black men... And I know it sounds like a joke, but this is part of Kamala Harris's plan. Talk about that.
I mean, it's kind of very disrespectful, just insinuate that, like, all black people want to smoke weed and that's super important to everybody. I think it's a pandering attempt that she's using for black people, and especially considering she's locked up a lot of black people in the past over, marijuana legislation.
Yeah, I mean, those forgivable loans can be for tech companies. They can be for a whole lot of things. Mm-hmm. All right, listen to one black man's call to the Breakfast Club about Harris seeming to be out of touch in her interview with Charlemagne the God.
I think she's a little bit tone deaf to everyday American citizens. As far as like young black Americans, the Gen Zs and the millennials, what is her plan as far as like the immediate impact on the economy to where we can start getting back to saving money?
Janiyah.
I mean, her Charlemagne interview was absolutely terrible. It was a very softball interview where she was just, giving soft questions. And President Trump is the candidate that's able to actually talk about the economic issues and talk about how he's going to, make the economy better, for Black people and make things, more affordable for Black people and not just Black people, everybody, And Kamala Harris goes back and forth on whatever her plan is. One day it's one thing and the next day it's something different.
Janiyah, good to see you. Thank you from the Trump campaign today. Thanks for stopping by.
So there you have it. I mean, the truth of the matter is that she's just a weak candidate. Black men, Black people in general are walking away from the Democratic Party. I read somewhere, saw somewhere that her numbers are, she's gotten less of the Democratic support than any of her predecessors since like 1960, which is telling. Like, people are waking up. They're moving away from the Democratic Party. And when you throw in this weak candidate that's supposed to identify with us simply because she looks like us, it's just not going to work anymore. It's just not going to fly. Speaking particularly to this new plan that she has, this was already a plan that she had proposed and just added Black men's name at the top. And it was really insulting when she went on the Breakfast Club and stated, like, this is something she had been working on for a while. Just coincidentally unveiled it after Obama went in and she realized that her numbers were so poor. Like, people aren't falling for it. And I pray Black men do not fall for it, because we already know how it goes. They say whatever they need to say on the campaign trail. And as soon as they get in office, it's done. Nobody can, get a hold of anybody. We don't know why nothing can get pushed into Congress or pass legislation, and it's all just dead on arrival. So there's no need to even pay attention to it, okay? Our minds are already made up. Men already know what they want. We already know that the Democratic Party are not providing it. There's nothing left to discuss. And this is not even addressing the other agendas that they're proposing or that they stand by. Black men in general are conservative. And so you have a large demographic of people who are not with LGBTQ agendas, who are not with transgender surgeries for children, inmates, immigrants, and things of that nature. So all of these things just don't align with the community as a whole. And if so, Black men are now saying that we don't want to be a part of this, we don't want to participate in this anymore. You kind of have to just support it because it makes logical sense. For the life of me, I don't understand why anybody is interested in Kamala, because her policies stuck. As a candidate, she's weak. She supports all kinds of debauchery, and it just doesn't make any sense long term. And we've done this. We've played this game over and over and over again, and it's worn out. It's tired. Magic Johnson got on stage and said that, Trump made all these promises that he didn't fulfill. Well, what did Biden do? The exact same thing. What happened to the George Floyd Policing Act? It just died, right? And so we already know this is what they do. They make all these promises on the campaign trail, and then as soon as they get in office, they forget about you. The only difference is this election season, they didn't even mention you. You were a non-factor this entire campaign because they felt like they already had your vote in the bag. We've never given them anything, and they always come and support. We don't even have to pretend to care this time around. And it backfired. So I congratulate all Black men who are out here taking a stand and walking away. And you got one woman who supports you.